Welcome to the DSQ podcast with Blake Lawson and Dakota Reynolds.
All right, let's talk about some liveries, and hopefully everybody keep their audio this time. That's me. Anyway, welcome back.
Welcome back. We're going for 0 technical difficulties this time.
Unlike Alpine testing. Oh wait, well, I'm getting ahead of ourselves. Wrong episode. But Alpine is the first in our livery episodes we're going to talk about. Let's not waste time. Let's get right into it. Alpine livery. First off, actually, I guess we should say this. We did do a preliminary rating when the cars got announced. But then we actually waited until testing to actually see how they looked in action on the car, and that actually did affect some scores a little bit. It did not help Alpine out, because I gave them a 4 out of 10. I think it is not good. I don't know. Everybody's like, oh, they hate the blue. They tease the pink camo. Everybody just wants the pink car back. Stop it with this other stuff. I think that's as easy as much to boil it down to, as much as that is just, you didn't paint the car, but you still did the stupid blue and pink that people don't like.
Yeah, their design pains me. I am mad. I'm big mad. I shouldn't be big mad about a car livery, but I'm big mad. I also gave them a 4. But commit to one or the other. Either commit to colors and dual blend colors, or just be bare carbon. I am not a fan of the little splash of color, but then the 50% bare carbon, down to the point where I believe Reddit or someone else must have bullied them to the point that they finally threw a little bit of extra color on their nose, but most of it is bare carbon.
And to be honest, that change they made with extra blue on the nose during testing didn't help. It just looks more out of place now. It looks uncohesive, which is, at least on my ratings, a theme this year. But yeah, no.
It just
not impressive, but seems to maybe match the car. But again, we'll talk about testing next episode.
Yeah, just commit. Just commit to one or the other.
All right, up next is the good old Force India Racing Point, the former pink Mercedes, now Aston Martin. I actually gave Aston Martin a good old 7 out of 10. I like to see, I hated that little off yellow kind of green stuff. There's less of it on the car, so that's a plus. Didn't really do much. In fact, the only note I have in here is just Stroll sucks, so.
I swear I don't think we're going to line up with this as much as it seems that we are. I also gave them a 7. I gave them a 7 in the sense that of an IGN 7 of, this is an average car. Everything's mostly the same. I did put that I liked the little yellow accents that they have going on from the very bottom of the car and into the wheel well. That was a nice little touch. But I mean, it's, for the most part, it's the same car as last year. It's just green. It is Aston Martin green, which, to be fair, that is sort of their trademark, but it looks the same to me.
That's kind of what into a lot of my ratings is not so much, oh, is it good, is, oh, you didn't make it worse. So that's kind of, I will say, there's not a lot of high scores on my list, just as a look ahead to what's to come. So moving on to next, which is going to be the old faithful, hey, it's red, Ferrari car.
Ferrari.
I gave it a 6 because, I'll be honest, it was a 7 before testing. The thing that took it off to me is during that first testing session, not remembering who was out for that first testing session, I was like, oh, hey, there's Carlos, because I saw the side of the number on the nose. But it was Charles. So, the bubble font was, at least for me in that moment, hard to read and hard to tell difference. Obviously, they have the anti-roll has the thing, and we'll have the numbers, but I don't know, in that moment, it's kind of just, eh.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. Ferrari, for me, in my slight bias, I did give them an 8. I almost gave them a 9, but for the same reason that you gave them a drop down, the numbers don't read well. That white with the yellow outline, along with the font that they've chosen for it, is not a good read. It is not good at all. I had the same problem you did, is I can't tell who this is. I think the overall design is nice. It's Ferrari red, and it's got the little yellow and white, I'm assuming shell stripes going on. It's got color. It's not all bare carbon fiber. But I can't read the numbers well. So, I mean, again, great design, great overall look. Ferrari red, baby. Even though, said average for for Aston Martin. But, I mean, there's at least some difference, They have the yellow and white stuff going on. But the numbers don't read well.
Yeah. I mean, it's Ferrari, it's red. That's what we expect. It's not bad. It's Ferrari red. Maybe work on some numbers. Throw some contrast in there.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, our lovely American team, the Haas. Now without, now without our fearless leader Gunther. And this is probably why they have the lowest score of all my ratings is a 3 for Haas. The Pro I had, again, this was a 4 before of testing. The only Pro I had was it didn't make it worse. Then in testing, I saw the split MoneyGram logo, where they had money on one side of the halo and gram on the other. And that is awful. And as someone with a graphic design background, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, I knew you would include that one.
And then talking about Alpine a little bit, and I'll mention on some other cars, it's not cohesive, it doesn't blend, it's just like they threw shit on the car. Like, we're black, we're red, we're white, throw it on the car, screw design, screw anything, just throw it all on there. Like, there's no design to it, to me. It's just colors, logos, bleh. Car. 3 out of 10.
I also
will not rate again.
Did not go that high with Haas. I gave them a 5 out of 10. They are my second lowest. So, for the record, Alpine was my lowest. So, it does not go any worse than that. But Haas is my second lowest at 5 out of 10. It's a lot of exposed carbon fiber again. Like, not all of it is. Some of it's just painted black, but there is just a lot of exposed carbon fiber. And I'm not a big fan of that in the cars. But they did change up things a little bit. I was like, years past, they have been very much a black on white team, i.e. their car has been white and then their add-ins were black and red. Whereas this year, it seems they're very much a black car with white and red thrown onto it, which I do like the change a little bit. It's a little nice on that. But I also included the same note that you did about MoneyGram is not a great look on that on the Halo piece there. Like, it feels so dumb. Like, it would have been okay if maybe just the logos, but to split up the MoneyGram, and it even works to me on the wing. Like, that's fine to me.
Mm-hmm.
But
absolutely.
On the Halo piece that the camera's going to be looking down at all the time, that does not work for me at all. This does not spark joy.
And then, sorry, I'm very, seasonal allergies, I guess, still going on. From a graphic design standpoint, the balance is wrong. I'm surprised it got approved because, major brands have very strict brand standards. And I doubt that that's approved. Doubt that that's in there, so. But again, I would say the most obvious worst part of the car, but again, to me it's just it's just not, it's just throw stuff at the wall. Sorry. Alright, moving on from there, I still call both them and V-Carbs, who are also whatever, the new teams, even though they're not new, but the Steak F1 to Cake team, Sauber or whatever. I read it just then and still messed it up. a lot of people are going to hate me on this one. I gave it a 7. I know it's a lot more carbon and all that, but I'm excited to have a new color. Like, that's definitely like a bright green. That's not just Flow Fizz, obviously. I like black. I like the black and green. I mean, Razer. Hello.
I mean,
your sponsorship is there.
Yeah, just sign up.
But the only thing I don't like is, I'm not a fan of Stake, the company, but whatever, I feel like they could have gone bolder with it and really made it a green car. But the carbon fiber is, I think we're stuck with it until maybe the new regs in another season. I will say they need to get their greens together, because the green on the car doesn't match the green in the garage, doesn't match the green on the uniforms. But, and again, graphic design background, apparel background, I know matching colors can be hard, and what's available is what's available, and that's kind of what you get. But you guys also make a lot of money. You guys can get that figured out. Get a uniform green, please.
They've got that China money coming in. I mean, surely they can do something with that. I also went with a 7 for Sauber Team. I don't know if you've seen it, but there is a truck in the local area that is sticker bombed that has a very similar shade of green to the Sauber car this year. And I thought, that just reminded me of that. But the green and black is very bold. Like, that green choice was a very bold decision, but it's not terrible. I am impressed. I think things could have gone a lot worse. I feel like there should be just a touch more green on the car, but c'est la vie. I do, however, appreciate the green that is on the polos of all of the paddock members, all the pit members, because I feel that's more of like a green screen green, and I feel like you could have a whole lot of potential for memes with that going on. Not that this green is not also going to be very easy to chroma key out, but I feel like just having that exact green screen green would be the inspiration that a lot of people would need.
Should be some good meme reviews coming up, especially depending how they do.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on, let's see what transition. Speaking of memes, Oscar Piastri, McLaren, there we go, there it is. The Papaya team has released a Papaya car again. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I really, really like the new number font for them. It's clean, it looks good. The real reason it doesn't get anything higher is it's still kind of the same. I mean, it's Papaya, it's what they do. There's still a lot of the chrome elements, which I think don't mix well, but it is what it is on there. And I was like, the only note I kind of have is, they had so many different liveries last year. It's almost like, and how many times they had to change sponsorships around due to the local advertising laws. It seems like their livery is not as big of a deal, because I know last year's special with the chrome was like a anniversary and some other stuff, but they were definitely one, I'd say them and Williams had the most different liveries from last year, so I would assume we'd probably have something similar this year.
Yeah, I'm sure the teams will definitely still go through their regular shifts of livery. I'd love to see some interesting things like a V-Carb / Toro Rosso that goes into Alpha Tauri colors. But we'll save that for a bit. I gave McLaren a 6 out of 10. And it's, again, mainly because of the carbon fiber. I've never been a fan of just the exposed carbon fiber, but they did it first, and arguably I think they do it the best. They have a distinct color that pops off of their car that just exactly Papaya. It helps a lot, but as a whole I am not a fan of the exposed carbon fiber look. Numbers are cool, great, but your car is 50% or more exposed carbon fiber. Not a huge fan.
Yeah, especially when it first, because they of course released the livery, like, boom, here we are, we're beating everybody, and like you'll see the car later. And everybody's comparing it to like the original, what was it, 80s, 90s patterns for paint,
Right.
like some of the old Marlboro, whatever.
Marlboro.
Yeah, Mission Winnow. I mean, what? All right, moving on to the silver arrows. This is my highest rating. I gave it an 8. Because it's basically they took the W13, they took the W14, and they mixed it together. They combined them.
I have a pen. I have a nipple.
I was doing the motions behind the microphone. Boom, shitty car. No. 2 of our worst performing cars in the last decade. I like the silver on top. I still like it's got plenty of black. My only little down thing, and I know it's a sponsor, it's the return of the little red top intake where the anti-roll is.
The Ineos.
Yeah, the Eneo. It sticks out. It didn't look as bad to me in testing as it did on the livery reveal. So, like I said, that's definitely, I think, the best looking car for this season. It's got the 8. That's it.
I also gave them an 8. However, they are not my highest score. I do have one that is higher than them.
I know which one it is, I believe.
No, you probably do. But I did say for the Mercedes, I enjoy the silver streak. Nice little homage to your silver arrow heritage. I personally kind of like the little splash of red. Yes, it's a little much with everything else, but I kind of like it. I can't really say anything bad about anything red. I did say that the primary color feels like a lighter shade, maybe more like cyan than maybe sea green that they had last year. It definitely feels like a brighter teal to me, or brighter shade of teal. And I think it sort of got confirmed for me during testing, because I think whenever they popped up all of the driver spots on the map, I think theirs was one of the lighter shades on there at everyone. It was definitely lighter than the last year dot on the map. And something that I didn't write down, but I did notice, is I think on the back is just a whole bunch of different Mercedes logos, not necessarily with the circle. I don't know if that's a Mercedes logo, or maybe if that's with Ineos or something else, but I thought that was a nice little addition as well.
Oh, like towards on the side, kind of on the engine cover as it goes up?
Yes.
Those kind of like, gotcha. I kind of thought they were just designs, but yeah, they could totally be the Mercedes things.
Yeah, I was like, it resembled the Mercedes logo, like the same shape and whatever, and it was all different dimensions of it. So I thought maybe from years past or something like that, but I wasn't for sure. I haven't done the research on that. Don't tell Dakota.
Ooh, hiss. Ooh.
But yeah, it's like it looks nice to me. So yeah, 8 out of 10.
We do minimal research on this. I say having this document ready for like 2 months. All right, moving on to, again, the other, what I'm considering a new team. Visa, Cash App, RB Racing Team, whatever, VCarb, Toro Rosso, AlphaTauri. So, I'm going to preface this before people get mad at me. I did not watch F1 during the Toro Rosso era. So I know that this livery is very Toro Rosso. So I know a lot of people like it for that. I gave it a 6. I said, I have a pro, con, and notes list. I'll just read it off straight and then elaborate. Not as bad as it could be for the pro. Con. I guess first con, the numbers they use, that basic sports jersey font is awful. I hate it. It's not good. We'll talk about it later too. A lot of people gave Williams shit for the Duracell battery. To me, the VCarb car looks like a Rayovac battery more than anything else.
Really? I did not get Rayovac battery out of this. I got Red Bull can.
Oh, it's still definitely that. Like, it's definitely the new. I think we made the joke that they're promoting the new Sea Blue,
Yes.
which is not Sea Blue edition stuff. I could do a whole episode on that, but it's not
Off week.
related. Yeah, off week. Dakota rants about colors for an hour and a half, which we got to talk about in our testing episode too, because the colors they were using on the map was something else too, as you mentioned with the Mercedes.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I get it. I wasn't around for Alfa Russo for Toro Rosso, so I don't get the nostalgia from it. To me, it's just kind of, it's not as bad as I was thinking. I was expecting it to be Cash App and Visa Blue, Cash App Green, and just awful. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, it's not bad, but I mean, it's all right. But
I as well was not around during the Toro Rosso days of AlphaTauri. I was probably just eking onto the scene while they were still Toro Rosso, but then they went over to AlphaTauri, and that's when I really got into the sport. All of that to say, game still recognizes game. I still appreciate the throwback. I gave Toro Rosso a 9 out of 10. And they would have been a perfect 10. But those damn numbers. Like, I have seen way too much of that in my day from fucking high school. It's not great. I don't enjoy that. But I do enjoy a good homage to the old Toro Rosso. And that is entirely... Well, that's not entirely why I'm going to be calling them Toro Rosso, but it is for the most part why I'm going to resolve to calling them Toro Rosso, even though everyone else will be calling them V-Carbs or Visa Cash App, whatever, Racing Bulls, RB. They are going to be Toro Rosso exclusively to me, because this is Toro Rosso. Unless they decide they want to throw an AlphaTauri livery in there, in which case they will be AlphaTauri. But yeah, no, I enjoy the throwback. I do very much think it looks like a Red Bull can, which is also a fun little, I guess, tidbit for that. But yeah, change your numbers. Change your numbers to something better, and I will amend my number to a 10 out of 10. But for now, 9 out of 10.
yeah. Oh yeah, something I was going to mention. I guess we mentioned it going to this next one. It's something we noticed during testing. So you mentioned on the Mercedes that their cyan color was a little different.
I did, yes.
I feel like also the Aston Martin green was a little different. The McLaren, I have a note on there which I didn't say, was just it looked like a richer orange to me. And that leads into the Red Bull car. I think they did tweak some colors or something. I felt like the Red Bull car is the same as always because it's Red Bull. That's what they did. No surprise. I gave it a 7 because it's not worse, not better, same old shit. It did appear to be a slightly brighter blue in testing for the base color. But other than that, it's Red Bull. It's the same color.
It's Red Bull.
I mean, paint-wise. Not arrow-wise. That's for another episode.
That's for another
Paint-wise,
episode.
it's Red Bull.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Livery-wise, Red Bull, it's Red Bull. I gave them a 6 out of 10. It's Red Bull. I agree. It is a lighter shade of blue by, like, maybe one shade. Like, they tweaked the blue by one number on the RGB scale. Of note, I would have given Red Bull a 7 out of 10. But I dropped them by a full number for something unrelated to the livery of the car. And it is to the polos and the hats that they are wearing that have a little alternating line pattern of a lighter blue and either black or a very dark blue. And I keep looking at that in the garage and I keep thinking that they're showing us Williams. And it is not Williams, it is Red Bull. It throws me off every time and I hate it. So for that, you are dropping a full number. You are 6 out of 10.
I'll say it's not livery, but I also brought up the different greens for kick, so fair. Oh, I forgot I was going to look up Williams pit kits last year to see if it was because I feel like they're definitely used that same thing last year within recent memory, something similar to it. But like I said, we don't research this show. All right, last but not least, speaking of Williams, good transition. Um, yeah, I gave him a 6. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I was maybe a little harsh. Maybe a 6.5, 6.5. I kind of the same critique I had on a couple of other ones. It doesn't seem as cohesive, especially Williams' last year cars. I think one of the better cars. So I feel like it was a step down from last year's livery. Didn't feel as cohesive or sleek. Didn't really do anything new. I did like that of course, mentioning the Duracell top air intake is slightly smaller. So they went from a to a battery. That's a dumb joke that I probably will leave in anyway. And then I guess the only other critique I noticed during testing was I didn't notice it during the initial launch. I don't like the red kind of like pinstripe on the nose area that's around the outside of the nose. I don't think it's just another element that doesn't need to be there. It doesn't add anything. It's kind of just there.
I really like that. It's a very nice accent.
Yeah, it just to me it seems out like again it's there to be there. It's out of place. And then going back to talking about the other teams, I'm sure I thought Williams had a pretty good base car last year. Well, not base car, base paint. And I feel like their special liveries are pretty good. So I'm excited to see what other liveries. I think they will have plenty of fun liveries like they did last year with the different fan-made or Gulf-inspired or whatever.
Yeah, Williams. For it being my favorite team, they only get a 7 out of 10. The car I like, the car itself I like. The shades of blue, nice. The little pinstripe, like I said, it's a wonderful little accent choice. I still think the battery is stupid. I think Duracell, you had your fun. It was haha funny whenever you first introduced it. It looks stupid. Please take it off of the car. You can make some other little haha funny elsewhere on the car that doesn't involve turning the air intake into a giant battery. It looks dumb and it makes me feel dumb for liking this team. But overall, the car I do like. Now, I do think that the race suits, much like the shade of green that Kick went for, I do think that the race suits were a very bold choice. But unlike the Kick choice of green, I don't think this was in a good way. I am not a fan of the very off-putting white suits. I get that that's probably... I think that's something that they've had in the past. And it probably helps with heat absorption. I'm just not a fan of it personally. I think Williams go to a race suit that's closer to the color of your car. Get rid of the battery. At least a 9 out of 10.
Go steal the sides off Red Bulls and put it on yours.
While you're at it, just go steal Red Bull's car. Go steal Red Bull's car and paint it Williams blue, and then just run with that.
While you're talking about the Duracell, I don't mind the batteries much. I think it is stupid, but it's whatever. It's clever. I think the implementation of the Duracell on the Halo is way worse. I think it looks bad. I think it just doesn't work.
Oh God, I don't think I've seen that. Hold up.
They did the same thing last year. It's like the furthest most on the top of the Halo is the same. It's the black with the copper orange Duracell battery. Stall times while she recharges. I kind of pushed. I forgot about the race suits because to me they were just so bad. And I kind of just repressed that. But hey, maybe they're gonna announce the sponsorship. Yo, that's what. Hey, I figured out what the white jumpsuits are. Okay, Michelin's coming back as a tire provider next year. This is the announcement.
Let's go.
They're gonna look like Michelin men.
God. I see what you mean. If that's the same as... Oh, God. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
Like, batteries don't curve like that. And also it looks blocky, and to me, and it could just be a trick of the camera, it looks like it's missing part of it, so there's part of the blue halo showing through where it shouldn't be. I could be completely misremembering. Obviously, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning when we were watching testing, so kind of like when we were recording this. But, yeah. So let's sum up Williams. Good. Get rid of the Duracell shit.
Yeah,
Just put it on the side.
absolutely. But yeah, 7 out of 10 for Williams. That's all I got for you. If steal Red Bull's car, but if not, then just get rid of the Duracell. Haha, funny joke. Okay, get rid of it, and change your race suits back.
Red Bull change your race suits. Williams steal the Red Bull stuff. Okay. And Aston Martin steal a better second driver. Anyway, moving on. Hey, that's the episode. That's not what we're talking about today. All right, that is our liveries. A little bit shorter than we have been going, but honestly, I feel like it wasn't such a good The off season had a lot of hype, but it was same drivers, kind of the same cars. And when we talk about our next episode, we'll talk about what we thought of testing. But so far, it's kind of been. I've been super impressed with anything. So definitely, I would go ahead on official record and say it's kind of a weak new livery here, but there's 24 races. That's so many races, if you get that reference. Hell yeah, if you don't. Steve, please don't sue us. I think that is about it. We will talk about some preseason testing and then hopefully get that out pretty soon because it's basically race week.
It's Ross-Seek, everybody! It's Ross-Seek!
Jesus, oh god. Don't, that might be an off week episode is me ranting about F1 graphic stuff. Because god damn. Yo, the admins are good, but there's some stuff out there that they should not have been approved to release.
We race his money.
We race his money. All right. Well, we will talk about some testing, talk about Bahrain coming up, so make sure you follow us and subscribe and add to feed and whatever all the garbage is. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired.
I'm EB.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Follow the pod everywhere at DSQ Pod, and follow the crew at Medic50 and at Goalie Cody 30.